Let's go! Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get the topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Alrighty then, what is going on, everybody? This is your boy Tig for another episode of Project Open Mic. Sorry I'm late. Have server issues that was trying to connect to get the whole program running, so that's a fault. So again, apologize for that. Still working on issues, but hey, we're here. Let's get this show on the road. My lovely mug on the screen right there. Alright. How y'all doing? Thursday. Hope y'all doing good. Hope that everybody's doing good in their family. And Friday's around the corner, so you already know it's time to talk about some issues. So tonight's show is about basically why I'm a libertarian, really. And I was registered a Democrat. Then I found and I said, nope, that's too stupid. I looked at the Republican Party. I was like, no, that's crazy. So I went Libertarian. Libertarian ain't all great either. Just let you know that they're not all sugar and spice and everything nice. But I'd rather that because that really lines up with my views of I don't want government onto things. Hands off, hands out. So we're going to go through some stuff tonight, including a very good interview with Elon Musk. And I wish I'll go with that and say some more stuff. What we're doing. I want to do this reaction to his video, to his interview with the Wall Street Journal, because it's very important for people to understand that. So with that setting in regard, I want to talk about we go down here. All right, just bring that to that. So we're going to talk about first things first. All right, the news media, as jokey as it is, as messed up as I called it, and as I said, the news media, I did a special video a while back for people. So again, I want to give a shout out to people on Facebook, on Locals, on Rumble, which is giving me a little problem as well too. For some reason, the upload rate is so weird, and I am on a gig speed. I got 900 ups and whatever, but the technical difficulties, I hope I can iron it out. But on Rumble, on Tempo FM, on Twitch TV, on Live TV, on YouNow, which is another spot that we just added on. So we keep on adding on places to do, so you could share the videos, and of course YouTube. Sorry about that, and YouTube as well too. So you can catch the show, see what's going on, and we talk about stuff. All right. So I want to play. Let's see. So tonight's show is about, like I said, when the government gets involved, it goes from bad to worse. Again, they always said that the only reason is nature causes droughts, government causes famine. That is 1,000% correct. They make it worse, and I don't mean government as one building of a person. I'm talking about Democrats, Republicans, and Independents. I'm talking about the people who amass this amount of power by being voted on and use it for evil majority of the times. So that's why I call it out what it is. Before we get into that, though, like I stated before, I want to talk about this. I want to listen to this because this is This is crazy, and I'm not gonna I'm just gonna play straight up from this is from Mark Dice just because I don't want to just edit the stuff, so I'll just play it here. This is how I just want to show how crazy these things are. It's in how the media said, because once they saw when they said this, I was like, I was crazy. But let's go.
The media is treating Joe Biden worse than they did President Trump.
It started out for Biden fairly favorable coverage the first few months of the year. The last 4 months, however, Biden has been at where Donald Trump was or lower than where Donald Trump is in terms of media sentiment. I mean, it's not bias, it's the actual words we're using. So we are as negative as a collective media on Joe Biden, if not more so than we were to Donald Trump at a time when he was trying to overthrow democracy.
What? I know, right? What craziness is that? Look, again, I've said it before, you don't gotta like Donald Trump and everything. Well, most people don't. But let's not lie, news media, okay? Let's not pretend that game. You're worse. Because I didn't see y'all make up a squeeze in a video or change a video or something or take out words and stuff for Biden. I never see that. Speaking of saying that in that regard, if that's the case, we're going to see that right there.
7 cents.
Nationally, prices are down 7 cents a gallon and continue to fall. We're making progress.
7 cents? Oh my Lord. I can't believe it, kids. 7 cents a gallon is down. Oh my goodness. And that's a good thing. Okay. And we're going to see what I said.
We're going to keep at it to ensure the American people are paying their fair share for gas.
Wow, think of all the extra Christmas.
Again. What? Fair share. Who writes your speeches, man? The people pay the fair share in gas. They're paying no matter what. What the hell are you talking about? And it's because of you. And there's a reason why it was 7 cents. It was 7 cents, which is not a big thing. But let's go back to the favorable. The media treats Joe Biden worse than Trump. Really? Okay. Let's listen to Donna Lamone about this.
Big economic relief for millions of Americans who have been dealing.
Wait. Did he just said big economic relief? No. He didn't say that. Did he say that?
Americans who have been dealing with soaring energy prices. Americans who have been dealing with soaring energy prices. Economic relief for millions of Americans who have been dealing with soaring energy prices. Cost of
Big economic relief. And this is worse than, this is bad than, what? Okay, let me play it.
Pump finally easing up.
Wait. Let's go back a little bit and play the whole thing. I'm sorry. I can't believe this craziness.
And dealing with soaring energy prices. Cost at the pump finally easing up. With the national average for a gallon of
Whoa. Price at the pump tumble?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
This is why people listen to oh my goodness, CNN. Prices at the pump tumble. By how many, Mr. Lemonhead?
to $3.35, the lowest since October. Just look at that.
Holy smoke. You people are nuts. You people are bat as crazy.
You serious?
I know, right? The heck? That's... Oh my God. You guys are hilarious with this. Really. Gas prices tumble 7 cents. Oh my Lord. And 7 cents. Well, the kids, go out there and go pick up your toys as much as you want. Uncle Biden has dropped the prices 7 cents on the gas. Good grief. Holy smoke. You people are nuts.
Cost at the pump finally easing up, with the national average for a gallon of regular falling to $3.35, the lowest since October.
How about when it was $2 under the last president? That's pretty low, and I wish you was at that price. That makes a difference. Dollar Lamone. The heck? The lowest price ever.
Get that.
No, son of a bitch!
You're crazy. You are nut job crazy, man. Literally. If 7 cents is a problem, well, let's flip the script then, shall we? When y'all made a big kerfuffle about when CNN again, when we had the last president, and because of the what do you call it, the terrorist out of Mexico, y'all make a big hubbub and say Chipotle prices of burritos will rise 5 cents if Mexico tariffs become permanent. A burrito, 5 cents. Oh my gosh. That's the thing to be outraged about. But gas, which goes into everything that we use and everything, oil, gas, heating and everything, that affects everybody. That's the big tournament, even though that makes up the three. Oh my goodness. Dramatic, but oh, my brain cells. LBC, loss of brain cells, how stupid these things are. You people are crazy. Y'all are nut people. And then, of course, y'all like to play games. So let's use, yes, I know you got, again, you use CNN, so we got to come back with Fox.
Look at this absolutely ridiculous graph right here. This was put out by the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee where they praised the president with the caption, "Thanks, Joe Biden." At first glance, it appears to show a steep drop in the price of gas over 1 week in late November. But take a closer look at the left side of the graph right there, and you're going to see exactly what they did here. They literally stretched out the y-axis to show fractions of a cent in tiny little increments. So that steep decline you see in reality is just a drop of less than 2 pennies. It went from $3.395 per gallon to about $3.38 per gallon. Now, as you can imagine, the DCCC was absolutely ridiculed pretty much immediately for this tweet right here.
With all the money we're going to save on gas this Christmas, maybe Clark Griswold can finally put in that family pool. On the other hand, things aren't looking so good in every other economic sector.
Housing, accommodation, recreation, healthcare. CNN has learned General Mills notified its customers it's raising prices mid-January. Hundreds of items. Cheerios, Yoplait, Fruit Roll-Ups, Betty Crocker, Pillsbury, all of those could rise by as much as 20%.
Remember?
Yeah, because of inflation.
When they said the inflation was just going to be transitory, a fancy word for temporary?
Economists call all these things transitory effects.
These one-time increases in prices are likely to have only transitory effects on inflation.
There will be transitory impacts as it relates to inflation.
I believe it's transitory.
A transitory impact.
In the end, it will be transitory.
This is the part about government that ticks me off as well too. They find that one word and make it so whatever. Now, I was saying this is not going to be transitory, as they try to say. It's inflation. Remember the clip I played with Biden and Don Lemonhead when he had the town hall meeting, and he was like, "This is not going to do it." I'm like, "Yes, it does. It's going to create inflation. To be crazy as it is." Oh, don't worry, we're pumping more money in it. That's what caused the inflation, Mr. President. That was back in, what was it? It was back in July, one of those, that. And it's still going, but remember, this is all they were saying. That they were saying the exact same thing. It's transitory.
Inflation rises will be transitory.
Talking inflation. The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down.
People fully expect this inflation to be temporary.
There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way.
I did. Multiple people did. And we know that was going to happen. Speak about it. I called this back in 2008, 2020, when you was running for president. I said, if y'all let these, and I did another video later after I said, prove me wrong. I stated all the stuff would have happened. Every single thing I said was correct. And I said, prove me wrong. And every single thing I said, prove me wrong on, nobody could, you, sir, and your administration did not prove me wrong.
Well, that was then, and this is now. Here's Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell finally admitting the obvious.
That price increases have spread much more broadly in the recent few months across the economy, and I think the risk of higher inflation has...
What the fuck? It had spread, Mr. Powell? Oh my goodness. Please continue.
Increased. So I think the word transitory has different meanings to different people. To many, it...
No.
No, son of a bitch!
You, and I just as the clip just got played, you guys think that. We know what it meant, and we know that you were full of S. But when you can't, when you can't lie anymore, the truth should come out.
A sense of short-lived. We tend to use it to mean that it won't leave a permanent mark in the form of higher inflation. I think it's probably a good time to retire that word and try to explain more clearly what we mean.
Oh, really? Mean that inflation was here to stay and you guys screwed us over? Again, I'm shocked. I'm definitely shocked that happened. Oh.
What he means is it is doing permanent damage to the economy. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, said the same thing, to stop calling it transitory. But old Joe's biggest cheerleaders are still trying to gaslight the American people that things aren't just getting worse, but they're actually getting better. This is a real tweet from MSNBC, by the way, that they later deleted because of the backlash. Why the inflation we're seeing is now a good thing. It's good. Tell us more lies, please.
The dirty little secret here, Willie, while nobody likes to pay more, on average, we have the money to do so.
Everyone's...
What? What the fuck? This is, again, why I hate government. People who, and the news media for backing this stuff up. People who can't get fired telling people who could get fired how to live their lives. We have the money. A lot of people lost jobs, you crazy lady. So if you lose a job and you don't have an income, you can't pay for it. That's how it works. Good grief. And this part right here, which I didn't look into it. I didn't know this really because, again, I'm not from America, but I didn't know this, so I let this play because I did not know that's what it was.
Motel 6, right? But most people don't know why it's called Motel 6. They don't even think about it. The reason is because when the chain started back in 1962, rooms were $6 a night. If people really wanted to splurge, they would go to the Super 8, which was $8.88 a room back in 1972 when they started. But the way things are going, soon they'll probably start charging you more than that just for a bucket of ice. I'm certainly no economist, but I'm fairly confident that what's happening with our currency and our financial system isn't good. And the rate that things are going, next year my shirts will probably be...
I swear, I tell you, these people make some crazy things out there. Crazy things. But speaking of, speaking of let's go. Speaking of CNN, of course, I have to play my favorite clip.
You piece of loser.
Like I said, I created that clip for a special person, a very special person. And that person is Andrew Cuomo. The reason I created that clip for Andrew Cuomo is because he had the wise idea to when COVID started, he had the wise idea of putting people who had COVID in nursing homes. Him, Gavin Newsom, and Gretchen Richmer, whatever the woman from the governor also of Michigan. By doing that, a lot of people got killed. And then the news media, as we just saw in Hollywood, praised Cuomo for what he did and gave him an Emmy. Say, oh, he did a great thing of handling the pandemic. Now, of course, the reason he resigned, because people were saying he was handling other things, women, and he couldn't keep his hands off of them. So he resigned because of that. I'll tell you the truth on that. I really did not care about the whole hands women thing. That doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. I'm more that 15,000 people died because of his jackass move. That's why I literally created. That's it.
You piece of loser.
That's why I created that clip, because of that. He's that, and I gave it to Blasio because Blasio also a piece. But come to find out now, the brother is also a piece of crap, and that's why he was fired from CNN. Chris Cuomo was fired because he took his powers and try to do like a Stephanopoulos from ABC. Shout out to my girl Elena who helped me remember that name. But Stephanopoulos, remember when Clinton had all Jennifer Flowers and Juanita Broderick? They were saying that Clinton did grape and were touching them. And Stephanopoulos, you could go and Google these videos. I don't got the time for it right now, but you can Google these videos of when that little short shrimpy man was telling them, "I will ruin your life. You better back down or I'll ruin your life. You'll never get a job in this town." Like I said, that little piece of crap.
Piece of loser.
That guy was doing that. So what Chris was doing was finding out all the dirty deeds of all the women who accused his brother and try to dig up and try to use the CNN derogatory, defamatory, and everything else to bring up more stuff to make sure that these people also wasn't credited against his brother. Oh, brotherly love. Brotherly love. So with that, he got fired. And for some reason, too, they came out saying that he touched a woman inappropriately as well, too. Am I shocked, or does it run to the family? Anyway, they're so CNN. Don't forget, then you had Jeffrey Toobin, who, of course, was not smart enough, but wanked, he's back now. But before, he was on suspension because he didn't know that the camera was on, and he whipped out his manhood and whacked it on the screen while the camera was on for CNN, which is, yeah. Your last name, too. It's just like with Anthony Weiner. It's like, why you guys gotta follow the names? Jeffrey Toobin. Oh, he was Toobin, all right. CNN is crazy. And now you got Chris Cuomo saying that Zucker, who's owning CNN, said that Zucker know all about this and he was not cleaning this. I'm like, oh yeah. Start throwing people under the bus. Start throwing people under the bus. Oh, that bus is too high. Pile some more bodies. That's how it goes. It's too Brutus. Not surprised. So, not want to talk about that. Not surprised about that in that regard. Now, let's skip to something else. Nope. I don't want to talk about something with the government. I want to bring up this. I don't have it right here, of course, but I'll bring it up on my phone and just talk about it. It was. I think the markets out there needs to, and we're going to talk about that with Elon Musk. We're going to talk about this. Okay, it needs to be talked. So, what is going on? Like I said, government nature makes drought, government makes famines. So with that saying, right? With that saying, I am the reason I'm against most of this stuff because these geniuses that people elected it, and again, both sides. I don't care what it is. That's not my thing. But in other countries, they're doing this. Like in California, in other countries in Europe and all that stuff, a lot of people find more of the more of the COVID stuff like that. The Omicron is coming. Run, everybody, run! Nani? Not really. The Omicron variant is again by the WHO and the CDC, Facebook and YouTube, by the WHO and the CDC, by them. Nobody has died from the Omicron variant, and if it is, it's gonna be a small one person. If they think by the WHO, they say none, but if there is, it's gonna be a very small number. 1, 2. They said it spreads more, okay, but it's not hospitalizing and making people sick. That's what viruses tend to do. They want to live, so they don't want to kill off the host. So that's what they do. They mutate and whatever. And again, I've been saying that since February of 2019. When all this 2018, 2020, when all this crap started, I've said this. I said it's gonna be more crazy in the winter. It's gonna mutate. We're gonna live with this. That's all it is, and this is a good thing because it means it getting weaker and weaker. They want to live. It's gonna live with us. It's gonna be like the common cold. That's just what it is. Can we get back to normal, governor, and take off the stuff? Australia. Seriously, Australia. What the hell is going on with you guys? Unwad your pants, man. New Zealand, unwad your panties. Stop cracking on people that crazy. This is crazy stuff. Okay? So the other clue I want to think of is basically Japan. In Japan, because of what's going on, they already have a bad birth rate, so they don't have a lot of people to replace. They're going to do stuff. So in Japan, they wanted to lock down the nation. Okay? The governor said they want to lock down the nation. It should be wrong here. Okay, I'm gonna summarize it. I wanted to talk about it in a clip. I mean, of course, I'm looking at my phone, seeing if so. I don't like to have dead air. Nope, it's not there either. Okay, so basically what I was going to say is this. So, in Japan, they wanted to shut down everything and told all Japanese airlines and said, hey, you guys could stop flying in people. Even people who are Japanese. So in other words, if you're a businessman, even people who are Japanese citizens, you don't want to foreigners, okay. But even Japanese citizens, if you went out of Japan on a business trip, you cannot come back to Japan because the whole Omicron and all this stupid stuff that's going on in their decision. And they wanted to do that. Well, they told the Japanese airlines to do that. And after the Japanese airlines have got hurt once with the first shutdown, they basically gave them the finger and told them, what? Basically, the airlines was like, what? What the fuck? They said, hell no. So they said they're not doing it. And you know what? Because all the airlines stand up as one and said, hell no, the Japanese backed down because it was just too crazy. It was too crazy for that. So there you go. They stand up to stop against that because the government, that was again, you trying to do what? Make more airlines go bankrupt, make more people lose their jobs. That's again, that's a bad thing. But and oh yes, hey kiddies, I got a good one for you. Uncle Jesse's going away. Why? Because they found him guilty of making up bull crap. Jesse Smollett has been found guilty. Of course he was found guilty. Dude, what the hell were you thinking? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. But I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go further than that because you're a moron for what it is. So, I tell you. Now, a federal judge shut down the mandate for private citizens. Excuse me. Thank God. July 4th, the Biden administration wanted to have shut down one of the mandatory vaccines for any company that have over 100 workers. That got shut down by a judge for now. There's lawsuits going with that. But then another judge came and said, yeah, you can't really shut down. You can't also force federal contractors and employees also. That is unconstitutional. All right. So let me get this straight. I'm going to play a clip because before I want to put a little context. So again, with the last president, when they got lawsuits and stuff like that and everything, y'all, nobody said nothing. Everybody was like, oh yeah, we got to stop him. We got to whatever. It's made a big deal out of this. He's going against the law. He's breaking our constitution. He's trying to destroy our democracy. Like you just heard a clip where we just played with it a while ago. Okay. So now it's Joe Biden's turn. And you said, remember you said, sir, that they do worse than Trump, which is bullcrap. But let's hit. I want to show a little clip here about that. Take it away, Jen Psaki. Oh, she's a horrible person.
To a federal judge in Georgia's decision to block the administration from enforcing the COVID-19 mandate, vaccine mandate for employees or federal contractors?
Well, the reason that we proposed these requirements is that we know they work, and we are confident in our ability.
No. Didn't she just said because they work? No, she did not say that.
Well, the reason that we proposed these requirements is that we know they work.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Jen, come in close, Jen. Let me talk to you. Before we continue this video, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you here. It works, you said, right? You got the shots. You wear the mask. You wear the gloves. You got the shots plus the booster. And remember, I played it on the show. You still caught COVID. So it don't work. The hell? It doesn't work. So why would you say that? Oh, goodness.
And we are confident in our ability legally to make these happen across the country. As you know, the federal government.
Literally, that is why, again, you hear it. She said it works. It doesn't work. But we're going to mandate it to make it, because it doesn't work, we're going to make it. That's why I said they make things bad to worse. Run it back up a little bit.
Work. and we are confident in our ability legally to make these happen across the country. As you know, the federal government, the largest employer in the country, we have successfully implemented these requirements in a way that has not only boosted vaccinations in the federal government.
Again, federal, yeah, you're the biggest employer, which is messed up. Two, you can't get fired easily. That's why I said again, I hate people who cannot get fired, tell people who got fired how to live their lives. Don't like that at all.
With more than 92% of people vaccinated.
So if 92% of people vaccinated, then let the freaking herd immunity take over then.
But also helps avoid disruptions in operations.
Yeah, because you still caught COVID and you had to stay out for a while, even though you had vaccination and the booster shot.
And our implementation sends a clear message to businesses, including federal contractors, that similar measures will protect their workforce, protect their customers, and protect our communities. I'd also note that a number of businesses across the country have also implemented these requirements.
Let them do it. That's their private company. They want to do it. I have no problem against that. You do it, whatever. I make the decision to shop with you or not shop with you. That's all it is.
Vaccinating or testing requirements, depending on the organization. And the CEO of Lockheed said last week that they are at over 95% on track to be compliant. And
again, if you're 90% compliant to be compliant on those stuff, that's her to take over. And also, Lockheed get most of the money from the government. They're not really a private company per se, where most of it comes from government. So of course they're gonna lap you up because you're like that.
And are well on their way to be able to maintain operations. So I would just note, of course, the Department of Justice will vigorously defend this in court, but we know it works. That's why the president and the administration will continue pressing.
It doesn't work.
Forward.
Man, I don't like that chick.
I agree. I don't like that chick either too, Ruben. Jeez.
I mean, first off, we know it works. Well, what she's saying there is we know that if we force you to do something, most people fall in line. Just because you think you have the power to do it and because a lot of people are sheep doesn't mean it's good. It also depends what you mean by works, meaning it works that you force people to get vaccinations, that they need another vaccination and another booster, and now Omicron is coming and Unicron, and again and again and again and again. So it works is a bit of a, you're being a little sloppy there.
Of course she is. She knows it. She definitely knows it. And this is how crazy it's getting. I definitely want to share this. It's my fault, but I definitely want to share it because this needs to be talked about because that's crazy in regard to. Which is, and I know this one I could find out because people, they said, remember all the clips I said, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna. We can't mandate. We can't force people to do stuff. We can't do this and that. Okay, you say that, right?
Thinking about.
I got something I wanna show you guys here. How they say that, but it goes further and further down this rabbit hole, just to push stuff.
Well, some parents are questioning the vaccine mandate for LAUSD, and now at least 2 parents are accusing the district of giving their children the vaccine at school without their consent. So, what are school administrators saying about this?
NBC4's John Ketty-Slimek has more now from South Los Angeles.
Even though the vaccine mandate for LAUSD doesn't go into effect until January 10th, some parents tell us that they believe their kids are being pressured into getting the jab.
I should have been involved.
Maribel Duarte says her 13-year-old son, a student at the Barack Obama Global Prep Academy in South LA, brought home this vaccine card after having accepted the COVID-19 vaccine at school. She says he said yes when someone offered it in exchange for pizza.
The lady that gave him the shot and signed the paper was the one that told my son, please do not say anything. I don't want to get in trouble.
LAUSD says student matters are confidential and wouldn't comment specifically, but did say its Safe Schools to Safe Steps incentive program is meant to ensure several steps are in place for vaccinated students to receive prizes.
Wow. Wow. So that's what we're doing now? That's what we're doing now?
Duarte says she's not against the vaccine. She's vaccinated herself, but it's different with her son.
In regards to my son's health, I am against it.
Because he's got some underlying conditions that concern you?
Yes. He has problems with asthma and allergy problems.
These grotesque.
So if here's the messed up part of this whole situation. So say that the kid has a nasty allergic, allergic reaction to it, and remember the teacher said, "Don't tell anybody because I don't want to get in trouble." And she didn't. And instead of the kid took the paper and just throw it away, whatever. What the hell? This is why. And there's schools who are like, "Oh, we're gonna give your child birth control, like the young girls birth control and stuff like that." How about you talk to the damn parents? That's why the governor in Virginia got his ass whooped, because you're messing with people's kids. Bad enough that y'all let a boy in a dress rape 2 girls, sodomize 2 girls, or whatever. Y'all covered up this nonsense. Now, this is a lawyer. I'm not a fan of lawyers a lot, but hey, I'm a fan of this lawyer. Speak, my lady.
Contests and displays of treatment and candy and gifts and favors, raffles and cash prizes, inducing the kids to get the vaccination. But here's the problem. Kids in California cannot consent to vaccination.
Attorney Jennifer Kennedy has been following the 2 cases against LAUSD over the vaccine mandate, currently making their way through court. Both are ultimately seeking an end to that mandate.
The LAUSD does not have the power to add a vaccine shot to the California school schedule.
Exactly.
You couldn't do it if you're a Podunk school district, and you can't do it even if you're LA Unified, the 2nd biggest in the nation. You don't have that legal authority.
In California, school vaccines are handled through the State Department of Public Health and created into law through the state legislature. Neither has gone so far as to officially make the mandate.
Even the existence of the mandate in the schools has created these environments of pressure and bullying, segregation, discrimination, and accidental vaccination of kids without parental consent.
LAUSD says as of the Thanksgiving break, 80% of eligible students at Obama Prep have been vaccinated. Maribel worries some of those were done without parents even knowing.
It hurted to know that he got a shot without my permission, without me even knowing or signing any papers for him to get this shot.
A school administrator here on campus came over to tell us that they do not believe these allegations to be true. In fact, he told us that he believes more often than not, parents will lie about the whole vaccine issue.
All right, so you saw.
What the fuck?
You say they lie, right? I got a question here, sir. If you say they're lying, right? The mom got this. Look at the date and everything. She got something. So she has proof. You
piece of loser.
All right? Stop that. That's what happened when you guys called that kid who did that horrible stuff and anally raped a girl and went to another school and did it again. Stop it. Stop being bad people at the schools. Jeez. That's how crazy that is. Y'all nuts, man. Y'all seriously nuts. All right. So I want to go and talk about. I want to. So you get what I'm coming up. So I want to play this. This is Elon Musk. I don't know what's going on with this crazy here. No, I'm not gonna play this. And I'm not gonna play this in full. Sorry, you're gonna have to listen to the audio because again, I don't trust these people. I don't trust YouTube with their standards and all that stuff. Sorry, I just don't. So I'll play it in the way it is. You're gonna hear the audio. But let's go through this little audio clip together, shall we, kids? Because we're gonna learn some stuff here. And again, this might be one of the coolest, other than like I would hang out with Elon Musk. Now he does speak slow in a way, but he is artistic and everything. But I like the way this man thinks. Some of his thinking, I don't agree with the man 100%. And again, I don't think y'all should agree with me 100%. Do your research, look at the stuff right there. I just bring the clips to help y'all and have enjoyable podcasts and crack jokes and whatever. Again, there's sometimes I do get annoyed and angry. Some, not a lot, but just letting you know that. All right. So this is this is what you're gonna be hearing. All right. So let's skip and switch it to that thing.
Hi, Elon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you so much for being here. And by here, I mean
Sure. Electronically.
Electronically.
My bits are there.
And where are you right now?
I'm at the Tesla Giga Texas factory that we're about to complete. So yeah, what you see behind me is the factory basically. We have the office space and the factory kind of together. So I think this is kind of important that we don't have ivory tower management or engineering, and that the management and engineering is as close to the factory as possible. So yeah, so you can see what's going on in the factory and stay grounded.
All right, well, I'm in the ivory tower here in front of a lot of CEOs and a live audience here in Washington, D.C.
And again, listen to this. I want you to listen to the slant of this lady she's interviewed. Again, Wall Street Journal is more right than left. They're more towards Republicans than Democrats. But remember what I've said a million times, and I keep on saying, just because of that, most of the people who vote still vote Democrat by 97 percentile. They vote that. If Fox News does it, they vote for Democrats. They don't vote Republicans. Fox News does the same thing. Fox Media does the same thing. Wall Street, you just hear the slant. Remember, we talk about Biden and hear the stuff. Listen how this goes. Even the crowd and the CEOs have to laugh. You're gonna hear laughing. So let's go with that. I'm just prepping you on that.
And we are also joined by lots of people all over the internet. We are streaming this to WSJ.com, Twitter, and YouTube. So we have a very brief amount of time, only 30 minutes, but I'm very excited to talk about a wide range of things. I want to start with talking about our world, the world we currently live in. Then I want to move to the future of the world, and then talk a little bit about your world. And so we'll start right here in Washington, D.C., where everyone is talking about the infrastructure plan and the bill. And I wanted to ask you, say tomorrow you get a phone call from Joe Biden, and he says...
I think that's unlikely, but sure.
Okay. He just gives you a call, and he says, I haven't been talking a lot about Tesla lately, but what do you need from this bill? What are your needs? What do you answer him?
Dang it.
Well, I mean, to be totally frank, I don't know if at least no one at Tesla has actually brought up whether they care about this bill or not. I think if this bill happened or didn't happen, I don't know. We don't think about it at all, really.
Okay.
It might be better. Honestly, it might be better if the bill doesn't pass.
Amen, my brother. Amen.
Because we've spent so much money, it's like the federal budget deficit is insane.
Rising up to about $30 trillion, which we did almost $10 trillion, in almost 8 months. That's kind of crazy. And
it's like $3 trillion federal expenditures are $7 trillion. Federal revenue is $4 trillion. That's a $3 trillion difference in. If this was a company, it'd be a $3 trillion loss.
Exactly. We spend $7 trillion, but we only take in $4 trillion. That's a problem. And we've been doing that for years. We've been doing that for years, 10 years, technically speaking. Not 10 years, 20 years, but technically speaking. That's a bad idea. That's why I don't want government. Yes, I want to get rid of this bill because it's not going to do nothing. It's just handouts to more rich people and special people. Elon Musk is a billionaire, but at least he understands what's going on with it.
So I don't know if we should be adding to that loss. That seems pretty crazy.
Thank you.
Got to give. You can't just spend $3 trillion more than you own every year and expect, don't expect something bad to happen. I think, this is not good.
Thank you.
Well, Mitch McConnell is actually saying.
In fact, if I may elaborate on that, the deficit is more than $3 trillion when you look at the future obligations. So it's $7 trillion of current expenditures, but it's much more than that if you look at future obligations for Social Security, Medicare, and so forth. So
exactly,
we're running an incredible deficit. Something's got to give. I don't know. This can't keep going.
It just can't.
Mitch McConnell said something similar. That it wasn't too, not as extreme as you, but.
You see what I said? You see what I said? And I'm not a Mitch McConnell fan too. I think he's a piece-ass loser as well too. The only thing Mitch McConnell did that I respect. I'm just being straight up honest. The only thing, because when we had the sequester back when President Obama in, the first person who got billions of dollars, who? Mitch McConnell. I was like, you son of a gun. And the only time I give Mitch McConnell any kudos is when he stopped President Trump with the nuclear deal. Thank you. Thank you. I don't care. Because unlike most people out there who thinks a weird way, if I don't want to give this power, just say if I was a Republican, I'm not, I'm a Libertarian, but I'm just getting an example. If I don't want to, in case weird, if I don't want to give this power to the Democrats, to the Democrats, why the hell am I going to give it to the Republicans? It just don't make no sense. That's the politics. Remember, Barack Obama was against, we need not to worry about the borders. We not need to worry about the wars. We need to, blah, 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 blah. He argued about all that stuff. You can go in any video, go back and check it out. After he became president, though, remember he's like, we can't spend bills. He was saying the same thing like Mitch McConnell. We can't spend money like this. He became president. We need more money. We need to do all this, whatever. I give the best example. September 11 happened. We had the Patriot Act drafted by George Bush and his people, whatever. I did not like that because I figured out government going to use that as an overarching power. Barack Obama said the Patriot Act should have never been established. It was an overarching power. That's Barack Obama saying that when he was a senator. Fast forward to 2008, which I voted for Barack Obama the first time, not the second time. Hell no. But let's just say for the first time in 2028. Okay, Mr. President, you have the power now. So can we get rid of this Patriot Act thing? No, we're not going to get rid of the Patriot. We're going to use it to make the NSA, and we're going to spy on more citizens. But sir, you said that was our overreaching power. And you didn't like when Bush did, so you said turn it down. Well, I'm in power. I am in power. I'm gonna use it to make the NSA. And when the Patriot Act happened, the Republican was cheering and whatever. When Barack Obama gave him power and used that power, then they're like, oh no, it's a horrible thing. I don't want to give one. They're not gonna be a straight up Democrat party. God blessedly hope not. This country really will go down the tube. But then they're not going to be also the same to the Republican either. Okay? They're not. So you going to get that same power is going to give it to your opponents. Like right now, a lot of people, when the midterm comes, the Democrats are going to get their butt handed to them. Are the Republicans going to do anything about it? No, because they're wimps and punks and cowards. The Democrats play by different rules than the Republicans, and they're whiny little bees who can't. You're just like, oh, we got power. Okay, we got power. We can don't do nothing with it. But my point is, you don't give power to other people, and then the other cycle take over. That's a bad idea. That's a really bad idea.
Okay, so let's say his follow-up question is, okay, Elon, you don't think we need to spend anything on the infrastructure? If he says to you, what is the biggest improvement we can make to the U.S. infrastructure? What do you?
Fix the roads. Fix the roads. Double check the bridges and stuff, because none of them are there, but double check the bridges. Fix the roads. Open back up federal land so we'll get gas. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The only reason the 7 cents fall in the first place, it was not no economic change or whatever. Joe Biden opened up the gas reserve, which is there for emergencies. He still got to go back to OPEC and beg them for gas, for oil, which is stupid when you have the land that you could make your own oil in America, you jabroni. So it wasn't even like, oh, it was a great move. No, it's the user reserve, which is used for emergencies. And I'm guessing because his poll numbers are down, let's use this. Is an emergency, so let's use it. But no, fix the roads, fix the roads, check the bridges and stuff, make sure they are all right. Recheck FEMA flood lines and all stuff around, because people are building houses more and more into crazy places, and you build a house by a lake and you're shocked that there's water in your living room. The Mississippi floods every year, and you build a house. Oh, I want to be close to the Mississippi, and there's a fish in your living room. Who's the stupid one? And we should bail you out? No. But we should record the lines and make people in that regard. Fix some of the FAA infrastructure with airplanes, so we can have better communication, all that stuff like that. Other than that, that should be it, really, in my opinion. That's it. We don't need to give all these special interest groups this crap. That's what should happen. But you're gonna hear what she says.
What do you say?
I think we generally could have better airports, better highways.
See?
And
I didn't watch this interview all the way through. I just got little clips. I didn't hear that, but I thought that's what we should do.
You know, I think that especially in cities that are congested, we've got to do something to deal with the extreme traffic, which I think is some combination of double-deckering freeways and building tunnels. But if we don't do something, we will be stuck in traffic for forever. As autonomous vehicles come to the fore, and it's easier to drive without going through the pain of having to drive yourself, which is absolutely coming, and will be one of the biggest transformations ever in human civilization.
I agree. That is true, but unless you do what he said about the whole double, triple highways, whatever, that ain't happening. Autonomy mixing with humans, it's gonna be a rough couple years. I'm thinking about a decade because there's gonna be a lot of cars, humans, and computers, accidents and stuff like crazy.
There will be more cars on the road, and the traffic will get much worse. And so we really need to do some combination of tunnels and or like I said, double-deckering freeways. I'm not a big believer in flying cars. They're basically helicopters with wheels, and people don't want the skies to be swarming with helicopters. So
exactly.
It's tunnels and double-deckering freeways. We don't have a traffic problem in suburbs. We have a traffic problem on freeways because they were just too small and did not anticipate the size of the urban environments that we currently experience. So, yeah, but I don't see a strong effort in this direction.
I want to come back to autonomous vehicles, but want to just stay a little bit more on the role of government. You said at this conference actually a year ago that you think government should really just be hands-off when it comes to innovation.
Yes.
Though with this bill, there is a lot of support for EVs, and it could be the biggest change.
And we talked about that in the last show. Go back and check it out at episode 54, where we talked about, oh, we're going to give it to EVs. $15,000 to build $140,000 stations. Oh, that's a great thing. That didn't work out. And the reason why we got so much of the gas stations around in America was because of private, not government.
that we've seen throughout the country in terms of the infrastructure of EVs, and it helps Tesla. What do you think the role of government should be?
Hey, I'm Mandela.
Trying to be in that regard.
I think the role of government should be that of like a referee, and you know, like, but not a player on the field.
And also not a referee on the take, as we see. Whatever companies have the money, they will give to these daggone people. Again, Nancy Pelosi, $175,000. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, $175,000 salary, but Maxine Waters lived around white people from the black people that she served and said that white people are bad. $6 million house. Nancy Pelosi just bought a $25 million house in Florida. How you get that with a $175,000 salary?
So, generally, you know, government should, I think, just try to get out of the way and not impede progress. I think there's a general problem, not just in the U.S., but in most countries, where the rules and regulations keep increasing every year. Rules and regulations are immortal. They don't die. There's not a natural. Occasionally, you see some law with a sunset provision, but really, otherwise, the vast majority of rules and regulations live forever. And so, if more rules and regulations are applied every year, and it just keeps growing and growing, eventually, it takes longer and longer, and it's harder to do things. And there's not really an effective garbage collection system for removing rules and regulations.
Exactly.
And so, gradually, this hardens the arteries of civilization, where you're able to do less and less over time. So I think government should be really trying hard to get rid of rules and regulations.
And get out of the way.
That perhaps had some merit at some point, but don't have merit currently. But there's very little effort in this direction. This is a big problem.
By both parties.
And I also want to come back to later. I know that you do have some other stance on sort of AI and what the rules and regulations we should have on that. But you're sitting in a Tesla factory. How are you spending your time these days between the split between SpaceX and Tesla?
Yeah, it's about even between SpaceX and Tesla. It depends on, you know, what is the kind of crisis of the moment. So some weeks will be more Tesla, more SpaceX. But I mean, I work a lot. I work 7 days a week and put in some pretty crazy hours. So, but it really depends on where I'm needed most. I like basically just.
The thing that came out too, and a lot of people never understand. Now you hear what you just said too. Say, hey, ladies, I gotta ask you a question, and saying that he works 7 days a week. He's one of the richest men. He gotta work a lot of days, a lot of hours to do that. Yes, you could take you on. On fantastic voyages and trips, whatever. But again, a person who works that much, you want to make that money, you got to work that hard.
I triage the tasks and try to do the things that are most useful, or where I'm most needed. You know, and it varies from 1 week to the next. But you know, just going back to that infrastructure bill for a second,
he's like, nah, that bill irritates me the most. Let's get back to that, because let's be honest. You're not here to talk about this stuff. Let's not lie. Okay, let's go there.
Sometimes the criticism of Tesla is like, hey, Tesla gets all these subsidies. But it's worth noting that for the vehicle purchase tax credit, the $7,500, Tesla stopped getting that like 2 years ago. So whereas everyone else, I think, except for GM, still gets the $7,500 tax credit. So all of our sales this year, and I think last year, were had nothing to do with the tax credit,
government, because
we were no longer eligible because we'd made so many electric cars. Tesla's made roughly 2/3 of all the electric cars in the United States. I'm not sure if most people are aware of that. So yeah, so Tesla's made basically twice as many electric vehicles as the rest of industry combined. And
I showed that in a video last the week. We're talking about that. They showed it when the guy was there was saying like, oh yeah, they that is a correct thing.
We don't need the $7,500 tax credit.
Because people buy the cars.
Honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support though for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill and no.
No.
I mean, do we need support for gas stations?
Thank you.
So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies.
Exactly.
But also for oil and gas.
Yeah, oil and gas.
You think about also how this affects your competitors. Is that impact how some of your view on this?
I mean, maybe they need it. I don't know. But I think just generally, I'm in favor of deleting subsidies.
And I am with him, right, kids? Get rid of all the subsidies. Let's see what you really can do without somebody helping you. The only one I could say, because when we had the COVID, the only one I said you had to help the airlines was because we shut down the airlines. The government shut down the airlines. So that one, you had to give them money and all that stuff like that. But other than that, no. Let's try to find a true freedom of market. Get rid of all the subsidies. Hey, you sell a lot of corn. Well, sell your corn or whatever. Let the government help you with your corn. We had a supply of cherries. Okay, sell your cherries. No, we don't want our cherry because of prices. So what are you going to do? You're going to destroy cherries just because, and I did videos about this. They destroy cherries because it's too abundant. Oh, you got a lot of milk. Well, we don't want all the milk to get the prices. We want to keep the prices high, so destroy the milk. Get rid of the subsidies. I'm with him. Get rid of all the subsidies. Literally.
I mean, when we started Tesla, there were no EV subsidies at all, and gasoline was super cheap. We did not.
Thank you. Super cheap. We just 7 cents. Oh my God! The gas price is tumbling down 7 cents. Oh my goodness.
Anticipate any subsidies. That came later, and that came the $7,500 tax credit came as a result not of Tesla activity, but of General Motors lobbying for it. So
exactly.
I would just say just delete them all.
All right, but there's some other good things in this bill that some would argue. I mean, a lot of money earmarked for R&D. Would you want to put that towards something?
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to move on from the bill because I think we get what you're saying on it.
In general, we should just if we don't cut government spending, something really bad's going to happen. This is crazy. Our spending is so far in excess of revenue, it's insane. Like you could zero out all billionaires in the country. There's all this like anti-billionaire BS. If you zeroed out all the billionaires, you still wouldn't solve the deficit.
Exactly. He's correct. And I've said that too. You take all the billionaire monies in America, all the billionaire money. And you know what? Let's show it on. Let's do a little. Let's do it again. Again, follow with me, kids. Let's show that a little bit. So let's go here. There are 400, there's 600, okay. 614 billionaires in the United States, which is let's use the latest number. So they're using, so you combine all the 400 billion net worth combined in 2020 of 614 billionaires. United States comes up to $3.2 trillion. Oh, well, looky here. $2.3 trillion if you take all the the 614 billionaires and assets. I'm highlighting it for you right there. That's what you see right there. Sorry, my bad. I keep on forgetting the other thing. Switch it over here. Here you go. You see it on the screen right there. I'm making it even bigger. I'll get my head out of the way. 614 billionaires. Their net worth is worth $3.2 trillion. Well, let's look at the debt clock, which again, funny enough, I called everything right when I said this is, but it's going to be 30 trillion, whatever. Let's look at this, shall we? We look at that's what that is a lot of money, but let's look at the debt. The United States national debt, 29 trillion, 18 billion, 330,900. Well, it's gonna go up $900. That's our debt. So if you take all the billionaire monies, it still ain't gonna do nothing. Bernie Sanders with the get rid of the billionaires. It don't mean nothing. The problem is the government itself. That's the problem. You see on the screen in real time the debt clock. Every citizen in America owes 8,000. That's 340 million people. Every citizen, $87,000. For taxpayers, because not all kids. For the taxpayers, we owe $229,000. Basically, my house. I compare for two people in my house to help the debt. The spending. Look at the spending. $6 trillion. Look at the budget. $2 trillion. We are going crazy. Like he stated. Medicaid, $1,253 billion in debt. Social Security, $1 trillion, $95 billion in debt. Defense and war, $718 billion. Ooh, and look at how that interest is tacking on. Just like he said. That's the revenue, 4,000. That's the deposit. That's the spending. We're spending actual spending, 7 trillion. He is correct on that. That's what we get. We gotta stop this nonsense. We look at $10 trillion we're spending, state, local, federal, and all that other stuff like that. Oh my goodness! When you look at this stuff, it is like horrible. But again, he's correct.
All right, I'll ask you another question around the billionaire BS. Say tomorrow we've talked, you get the phone call from President Biden. Next day, actually, we decide we elect you to Congress. Somehow this happens. You're now working on tax bills. You're working on tax policy. How do you tax someone like you? How do you tax billionaires?
If you believe in the...
Oh, good grief. I can't even skip the damn thing. Sons of a gun.
First of all, I pay a lot of tax. I mean, my marginal tax rate is like 53%. So that's not trivial. And then obviously there's like, asset-based taxes, the sales tax and everything else. There's also the estate tax. And generally, I think the estate tax is a good tax. like if you think of assets beyond a certain level that are far beyond, let's say, somebody's ability to consume, then at a certain point, really what you're doing is capital allocation. So you're not. It's not money for personal expenditures. What you're doing is capital allocation, and it does not make sense to take the job of capital allocation away from people who have demonstrated great skill in capital allocation and give it to an entity that has demonstrated very poor skill in capital allocation, which is the government. I mean, you can think of the government essentially as a corporation in the limit. The government is simply the biggest corporation with a monopoly on violence.
What he's saying there, if you don't catch the monopoly on violence, because what people might even go over people's head. The reason he's saying that, you cannot do nothing. Let's make it easier. When the government owes you money, they take their time. When you owe them money, they want it right there and then. And if they don't get it, they will come with federal agents and everything. The IRS has federal powers, whatever, to come at your house and take your money at a point of a gun. That's what he's talking about.
And where you have no recourse. So how much money do you want to give that entity?
Could you explain the last part quickly? And then I want to move on to some product stuff.
Sure. I mean, I can talk for a bit longer if you'd like than the half an hour, if you're worried about getting through other questions.
I hear we have nobody else joining us at this conference.
Yeah, I mean, government is a corporation in the limit. So it is the most corporate thing. It is maximum corporation, but it's also a monopoly. And also is the only one that's allowed legally to do violence. So why would you want to give a corporation with no competition that can't even really go bankrupt more money? Now, it's not as though I think the government shouldn't exist or that they're not good things that the government can do or things that are necessary for the government to do. For example, science programs where we send a probe to Mars, and the value of that is it's a small amount of value for all citizens, but it would be inefficient to sort of go and collect $10 from every citizen for a Mars probe, and so therefore it's better to have the government do something like that, like a heavy science program, rather than try to collect small amounts of money from everyone.
Which I said, why don't you take all the money to find a way to get cancer? You went all the way to get the daggone COVID vaccine and all that stuff. And Pfizer, you guys are...
You piece of loser.
Pfizer, because the way you talk, you need to get more of this and all that. I'm not going to trust you. The people who's giving this to get more money to get that. Like, you have an incentive, you piece of crap. So no. But anyway, getting back to what you were saying there. Like, yeah, how about you guys go to find? Like I said it again. There's a lot of stuff I said in my podcast. You can go back and listen to them when I stated. If you go through all this stuff, you'll be able to find the cure for cancer and common cold and all this stuff. You go throw all these billions and billions of dollars at it. Which again, we found, like I said before, we're going to live with it. So it's like you $30 billion to waste, but at least find out all this stuff and do this in that regard. I have no problem against that.
Everyone. So I'm not somebody who's sort of an extreme libertarian and thinks the government should not do anything. I just think we should minimize what the government does, because the government's efficiency at spending is just going to be lower than a competitive commercial company, but by a lot.
Yes.
If you look at, say, East Germany versus West Germany, or North Korea versus South Korea, and you look at the GDP per capita of East and West Germany or North and South Korea, the difference is gigantic. And that's just the difference between East and West Germany. It's like a random line was drawn, basically depending on where the Red Army was and where the Allied troops were. And East Germany's productivity was like at least 5 times worse than West Germany. And it's not like West Germany was like some bastion of capitalism. They were quite socialist, really. So
thank you.
There may be as much as an order of magnitude difference between the efficiency of a competitive private company versus the government.
I'm going to shift away from government, come back to your world. Just thinking about sort of how you juggle Tesla and SpaceX. And you've said along the way that the workload at Tesla is quite a lot. Have you, and I know now you could regain the chairman position. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about your sort of your title and your position there right now?
I mean, it's interesting that these titles. You know that there's actually only three titles that actually mean anything for a corporation. It's president, secretary, and treasurer, and technically they could be the same person. And all these other titles are just basically made up. So CEO is a made-up title, CFO is a made-up title, general counsel a made-up title. Don't mean anything.
That's what I like this guy. That's why I like this guy.
I think a room of CEOs are how we feel about that. Yep.
No, he knows that he's correct. He's definitely correct. No, he's correct. I know that because I'm the founder and president of TT Records. I know what he's talking about. This is come on.
It was like obviously just somebody's marketing experiment. Oh
my goodness.
So I guess I'll be more direct. I mean, are you considering stepping down as CEO? Would you transfer, be chairman, and think about being chief product officer? I mean, since CEO title doesn't matter anyway.
I changed my title to Techno King. And this is a formal SEC filing. I'm legally or whatever Techno King. I just did that as kind of like a joke because just to show that these titles don't mean a lot. You can see what is actually legally necessary if you fill out the form for creating a C corp, and then you'll see it's president, treasurer, and secretary. You need a director too, but that's basically it. And then all these other chief whatever officer are basically just made up.
Okay. I gotta say, look, so I'll put it on screen right here. I could go through all this, but don't let me stop. It is literally Tesla's world's biggest company, Elon Musk. I think you should, if you are into technology, or again, he's a billionaire, but he's a unique billionaire. That part puzzles me about that. You go and check it out. It's on the Wall Street Journal. I'm gonna scroll down for you and show you here. This is Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street Journal, and check it out. I think it's a very, very good. Like I said, I like what he says, and he's correct. And I hope you guys learn some stuff out there. Check out the rest of the interview. All right, it's needed in that regard. So with that said, I don't want to kill you too much, but this is the reason why I am. Like I said, that's also why I'm a libertarian. I just get out the way. Just do that. I apologize for that noise burst, but yeah, just get out the way. Seriously, you're not doing nothing for that. The government makes things worse in many things. Do they need to have a role? Yes. I'm not saying they don't have a role, but a role that the American government have and most of the governments around the world has, they don't have. Look around. There was an interview on 60 Minutes where this lady who had who's thought of one of the many richest men in China, talking about what China has done, and we're going to give, which we know are the CCP, the government, saying that we're going to give. China has the best solution to go ahead and make the world get rid of equity inequality. You mean a country that basically, if you don't follow COVID, they weld you inside of your door, they beat you up. If you have a dog and you whatever, they kill the dog. Oh, don't forget all the Uyghur slave, the black slave, the Christian slaves, all the slaves, the dissidents that's in the slave camps. Yeah. How about you deal with that first before we worry about the other stuff, ma'am? But again, this is why I say this is why I'm libertarian. I literally, funny enough, my girlfriend, we went and we look at the houses and stuff, and we look at the voters' cards and everything, and it showed, I'm a libertarian. My sister's unaffiliated. Majority of people, there are 2 people that are unaffiliated, but most of my neighbors are basically Democratic or Party. Again, I don't got nothing against them because again, they make the decision to choose where they go. I just call. When I say Democrat Party, I'm not talking about the people, the citizens. Except if they say something stupid, I mostly go towards the Democrats themselves and the Republicans themselves and the independents themselves, the real people out there. Like that. The people in the government who makes our world crappier than they need to be. All right, that's what I'm calling out. But with that said, you know I will go with that. Remember, there's no. There was a lot of different people out there. Because remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, sexuality. It makes no difference. Evil's evil. Evil's evil. 1, 2. The rich is gonna stay rich. The poor are gonna still fight for their crumbs. And the middle class, which most of you and me were listening to, we are literally gonna get effed over by the government. That's just how that works out. See, and I want to thank everybody out there for giving me your time, your eyes, your mind, your ears, for listening to another Project Open Mic. Remember out there in that regard, we have about 36,222 people in the building. Thank you for that. So I'll thank everybody on Facebook, Tempo FM, Live, You Live. I mean, You Now. I think You Now, Live.com, Twitch, Locals, Rumble, YouTube, of course, Facebook, all that. All you guys, thank you for giving me your time with that in that regard. Remember, you can go check out the U.S. debt clock to see it again. I put everything on the screen. I did the search just before you, so you can check out what Elon said, and that's why he's one of my favorite billionaires out there. But with that said, you know how I do. Remember, people are stupid, individuals are smart. Be that smart individual, all right? Take care of yourself. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Again, check us again tomorrow for a side chat. Maybe we'll talk about the stuff that you guys saw on it, all right? Peace out. Have a good night. Check you later.